Next topic is pointer to objects. Now this is a very simple topic. Let's just understand it. First point is, what is the use of an object? Why do you use an object? When you create an object, what do you do with that object? Okay, after creating an object, you call functions with that object. Okay, for example, you have created object 1. What you will do, you will call set function object1 dot set. Then you will call add function object1 dot add, and so on. So why we are creating these objects? So that we can call this set function, we can call the add function, and so on. Okay, so that is the use of an object. Now the question is there an alternative to using object? Is there is some other way by which we can call these functions? Yes, there is another way, by using pointer to objects. Okay, so instead of using this object, you can use a pointer to this object. You can use a pointer to call the set get and add function. Okay, using pointer you can call set function, you can call get function, you can call add function. Okay, so why we use pointer? Okay, so let's why we are using pointer if we already have an object? Okay, so because it's better to have some alternative, it's better to have more options in hand, so that you can use those functions using different manner. Okay, so for example, pointer are mainly used when you call a function by when you pass arguments using call by address. Okay, at that time you have to use pointer. And there are other important points of pointer, but let's just but in this video we will only see how to use pointer. Okay, okay, so you can ignore that why we are using pointer. You will only see, you just have to learn how to use pointer to call set get and add function. Okay, and this is different from this pointer. uh, Different means this is a very special type of pointer. We are talking about general pointers, any pointer. Okay, so the use will be same, but this pointer is very different, and it's a very special pointer. This pointer is very special pointer. Okay, here we will be using this in inside main function. Now let's see the what are the steps. Okay, so you just have to learn how to use the pointer to call set get and add function. That is your objective for this video. Now let us see the steps. The first step will be, you will create an object. Okay, you will always create an object. Second step is you will create pointer. Okay, third step is you will point the pointer to object. Okay, this is very important step. Okay, many students forget this step. You have to point that pointer to object. When that pointer is created, it is not pointing to any object. By default it will not point to any object. You have to point it, okay, using a separate statement. And finally you have to use those pointer. Okay, for example, let me explain here. Your first step is you will create an object. Suppose I am creating this object 1. Okay, second step is you will create a pointer. This is my pointer 1. Suppose I am creating another object. Let me create two objects. Then I will have to create two pointer. Always remember that for each object you will create a separate pointer. Okay, you will not use the same pointer for each object. Third step is, so first step I have created two objects. Second step I have created two pointers. Third step you have to point this pointer to this object, and you have to point this pointer to this object. Okay, and final step is you can use the pointer. So this is just an explanation. Now let me explain with the code. Okay, we will see how to write the code for this one. Okay, so next part is the code. Let us come to this. So I am using the same class again, student class. I have created these three variables. I have created set function, get function, add function. Then there is no constructor. You can use constructor also. Then I will create a student class. Okay, I will write the definition for set function. Then I will write the definition for get function. Then I will write the definition for add function. Now let us come inside the main. Inside the main, what is your first step? You will create object. So here you have created two objects, object 1 and object 2. Second step is create pointer. So this is how you will create pointer. Okay, you will write the class name, then you will write the pointer name, and there should be a star. A star means that it is a pointer. Then you will create a second pointer and star. Star means that this is a pointer. Okay, third step is you have to point that pointer to object. Point to object, very important step. Many students forget this step. Point to object. So how will it point to object? You have to use this operator, AND operator. Okay, this is called address operator, address of. Okay, so and this is address, and this will give you the address of any object. Suppose I am writing address of object 1. Okay, so I am writing address of object 1, so this object 1 will be given to pointer. I am writing address of object 2, this address will be given to pointer 2. Okay, you can't write it like this. You can't write it pointer 1 equals to object 1, this will be an error. Okay, you don't have to write it, you have to write the address. Okay, very important point, you have to write this address operator, otherwise there will be an error. Okay, now this pointer is pointing to object 1, this pointer is pointing to object 2. So there are two objects, pointer 1 is pointing to this object, pointer 2 is pointing to this object. Pointing means that it has the address of this object, pointer 2 has the address of this object. Okay, that is why we are writing this address operator here. Next, we have to call the set, get and add function using pointer. Now I am not using object, so how do you use pointer? You will write the pointer name, then you will write arrow operator. This is called arrow operator. Okay, so whenever you are using pointer, you have to use arrow operator, then function name. Okay, whenever you are using object, you use the dot operator. It is called dot operator, object 1 dot set. Whenever you are using pointer, you have to use the arrow operator. This is the only difference, and rest of the thing will be same. So pointer 1 arrow operator set, pointer 1 arrow operator get, pointer 1. Okay, so this is same as object 1 dot get, object 1 dot set, object 1 dot get, object 1 dot add. Okay, so these three are the same thing, these three and these three are the same thing. So I am telling you an alternative way of using object. Okay, so this is how you will call set, get and add function. Similarly for object 2 you will call set, get and add function. Okay, one thing you have to note that you can use pointer and object at the same time. Okay, it's not that if you are writing pointer 1 arrow get arrow set, then you can write object here. Okay, let me take this example. Okay, so you have understood how to use pointer to call this function. That's the only thing you need to know, how to use pointer to call this function. Second point is you can use object also. At any point of time you can use object. Suppose here I am not using this pointer, I am using object to call the add function, then I can use object 2 dot add. Okay, you can use both pointer as well as object, and you can use them at the same time. It is not necessary that if you have called the set function using pointer, then it is not necessary that you have to call the get function using pointer. You can call this using add object. I can call this using object 2 dot get. Okay, so this will be correct. You can mix the use of both these. Okay, you can mix the use, means you can use both at the same time. Here you are using pointer, here you are using object. Okay, so that's it for today. You can mix the use of all this. So that's it for this video. Let's